so that we can save time. And what happened here, 24, we're not going to read it. What happened here was that there was so much trouble in Israel as it were at the time. And the people of Syria came to besiege Samaria to the extent there was no more food. For those who listened to this sermon when I gave it earlier on, at the time, the Bible recorded at verse 25 that an ass head was sold for 4 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. Simply put, the shit, the feces, was sold. So there was so much famine that people can't afford anything. So they were looking for weird beds. We pass their feces, they will go and buy it. And it was very expensive. And then what again happened? If you read down, you also find out that people now started eating their children. The Bible recorded that in verse 28, that a certain woman had an agreement with the other woman that they will boil their son and eat today, so that tomorrow we boil mine and eat. And so, it is not a fairy tale, it's written, it's clear. And the Bible uses the word boil and eat. Boil simply means boil. And eat simply means eat. It doesn't mean any other thing. And so it was a tradition that they were boiling children and they were eating because of the hunger at the time. And so these ritualists, you see, they can still tell you that it happened in the Bible. Because it's here in Kings. And so that woman brought the child and they ate that day and finished the child. I don't know if they also ate the head. And after that, it was the turn of the other woman, and that woman went and hid her son. Said, "We are not going to eat mine today, we've eaten yours. Yours was very sweet, sumptuous. But mine, no. I love my child so much that I won't let you eat my child." And then the thing got to the king. And the king was angry, he was infuriated. The king said, "What is going on?" He said, "King, help me." He said, "How can I help you? From the wine press? If God hasn't helped you, who am I to help you?" And the king suddenly turned to himself and said, somebody must be responsible for this. There's no God, God doesn't exist. He must be that prophet of God who is in Israel. And they told him and they went, and lo and behold, it was Elisha that they were talking about. And of course, when you go to chapter 7, down up to chapter 7, there was a promise from Elisha when he heard about this trouble. I want you to begin to imagine whatever problem that's going on in your life today. Maybe as I speak, somebody has lost his job and there's no hope tomorrow. As I speak, somebody has lost the wife or the husband and no more help. And the conservatives are cutting gyro. If you are receiving £100, now it's not 30. Things are getting tougher and tougher. You don't even know where your next meal is going to come. The end of the month, your landlord will knock at your door. In fact, direct debit, have to leave your account. And then there's trouble. And then you suddenly come to church. Bible says, before God and man, I saw you have a new job. In fact, you have key in your hand. I saw you were moving into it. I said, this man is drunk. How can he even say that I lost my job? He doesn't even know that I lost my job. I have nowhere to go. And then he's telling me here, I have a key, a new key in my hand. Oh, these cherubim people, I don't know whether they all drink before they come. And then you suddenly get off away, you go away from this church, and then something happens. You mightn't return even to tell him, Baba, that message is true. This was the lot of the children of Israel as it were. Elisha made a promise. He said, by this time tomorrow. He said, by this time tomorrow, a measure of fine flour will be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. He didn't say next month. And I say to you today, by this time tomorrow, 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 by this time tomorrow. Whatever be your problem will come to an end. Because the Bible says by this time tomorrow. And it happened. God is not a man that he should lie. Neither is he a man that he should repent. Numbers 23:19 tells us clearly. And the Bible is clear here. And the Bible went on to say that you, the assistant of the king, for doubting me, this thing will happen, but you will not see it. Say it will happen. And look at what God used. Please, I'm wasting your time, but 5 minutes I'll get out. And look at what God did. God used only 4 leprous men to deliver the children of Israel. 4 leprous men. These men didn't know what they were doing. They said to themselves, we are going to die here out of hunger. Because after all, it's only when these people will get body and after they don't chop, they will give us. If they never get chopped, now how we go chop? They said, okay, we know definitely we are going to die. But before we die, let us make an excursion into the camp of Syria. If we go there, they kill us, it is yet the same death. If they leave us alive, they better. There's something we say in Igbo, if you point your hand to die, you don't point, you die, point. Point. You do this, you die, you don't, I will do. Make a scene, because not death. So that's what the 4 leprous men did here. And so they rose up in the morning, in the twilight, and then within the evening, to go to the camp of the Syrians, and nobody was there. The Bible says there was no man there. And man is used here in plural sense. No man, no woman. No man was there. And what did they do? They saw food. They started to eat. But before they got there, God had done something to the enemies. God made them to hear the noise of chariots and the noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. Because of the noise, the armies of Syria packed their tents and ran. And I say to you today, God will make your enemies to hear the noise of war.
Amen.
And obviously when they hear the noise of war, they will run. All our enemies will hear the noise of war, the noise of chariots, and they will take their heels.
Amen.
And so when the leprous men got there, they started enjoying eating and making merry. I said, today is the day of enjoyment. As they were eating, they said to themselves, no, we don't do a good thing here. We haven't told those who are hungry in Israel that there is surplus food. They went and told the king. The king said, no, don't believe them. I know these Syrians. They have gone to plant so that if we come, they will not finish us. They ignored them. Finally, they sent people who now confirmed that it's true before the children of Israel came. And the Bible recorded, if you read down, the Bible recorded that the gate was put in such a way that somebody, the assistant of the king, who was guiding the influx of people, the pressure of people, killed him, and he didn't eat of that because he didn't believe God. When Elisha made that prophecy that by this time tomorrow, that you are going to have vouchers, you are going to have greater things that will happen in your life. And I challenge you, I say by this time tomorrow, a lot of things will change.
Amen.
Now to God the Father.